Hey, are you feeling stuck right now? Like something should be happening, but it's just not? Well, you are absolutely in the right place. Welcome to High Heels to Happy Feels, where soul meets strategy, and that stuckness might actually be sacred. So I'm Natalie. This week we are missing Stephanie, so we are on our own to figure out our unstuckness. But in this week's episode, we're going to dive into that sneaky illusion that trips up even the most growth-minded among us. And that's the lie that being stuck means you are doing something wrong. So let's get into it because the part of you that feels stuck, is it actually waiting for you to realize how close that you already are? I have had so many conversations lately where people say, I'm doing everything right, or I think I'm doing everything right, or even worse, what am I doing wrong? That nothing seems to be moving forward. Things just seem to be endlessly in this circle of things. So if that's you, I want you to take a breath because you are definitely not alone. Literally, I've had conversation after conversation about that just over this last week, let alone kind of throughout this year. This episode was kind of born from my own moment of why isn't this working? And what I found might surprise you. So let's talk about what being stuck actually really means, what that might feel like. And we've all felt it. Like we're not moving fast enough. Nothing is clicking. Things aren't working out the way we thought they were. Like we're just being blocked. But what if that stillness isn't really stuckness at all? What if it's a recalibration phase, a pause that our systems need to catch up with what our soul has already called in? Because growth does not always look like progress. And I think that's where a lot of us can get really lost sometimes because as we grow, we're constantly in that, let's take our next action, let's do our next step, let's always have a plan, let's always move forward. But sometimes it really does look like silence and stillness and ultimately discomfort. Inside, though, everything is rearranging for us because everything always works out. So I remember this one time I was pushing so hard, and this has been like 2010, so quite a few years ago, but it sticks in my mind because I was so stuck and I was stuck for months and months and months. And I was pushing so hard to make this dream happen. And every time I moved, it felt more like quicksand. I felt like things were getting further stuck. Like I was committing to things that I didn't really want to do, but I was trying so hard to move forward. And what I didn't realize was everything was actually just being prepared for what I had already invited into my life. So if you're in that energy right now, I'm asking you to pause. Place your hand on your heart and breathe with me. What if this is your nervous system just trying to catch up to your soul's yes already? So place your hand on your heart and take a couple of breaths. And let's talk about the astrology that is supporting this stuckness because always, always at Immersive Spirit, we're aligned with it's anyway, we're going to move into it because it's not just about the emotional pieces of being stuck. Cosmic energy actually supports this. And right now, the stars are telling the story of stillness with purpose. So Jupiter is in Cancer, and this energy really does want us to feel safe, safe enough for us to grow, because it's not about charging forward, it's about being real and being with your emotional truth. So, just as a highlight, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, which means it's kind of like a power planet right now. It's at its home. So, there's a lot of emotional expansion there, lots of soul healing, big growth, but only through your own safety. And that safety might mean taking a pause, taking a breath, taking a step back, and kind of going with the flow. Further in this, Mars is in Virgo. So forget the leaps. This is going to be all about small aligned actions. So, like clean the corner of the room, not the whole house, just one step, and that will be enough. That can unlock how you feel. It can start getting more clarity into you. It allows you to be in that pause, but be in action as well. So, super helpful. If you can declutter one thing or reorganize one space that you know you eventually want to do it now. But take the small steps. And then, of course, we have Pluto in retrograde, which is, it's going to be in retrograde until October. But this is deep soul work time because in retrograde, we all understand, it's reflective, it's intense, and Pluto is transformational. So it might be pulling up some of that old programming or the old norms that you've been operating under. So I ask you to ask yourself, what are you calling stuck? Because could it actually be preparation? So if you sit back and think about that, journal on that line, what am I calling stuck? What am I stuck about? And then flip the script and say, is this actually a preparatory step for me to move forward? Because if you give it perspective, if you give yourself perspective, it can really change the whole tenor of everything that's going on in your life. Those actions, those things that's starting to feel like quicksand, if you pause, the quicksand stops. You start making those little actions, little decisions. And next thing you know, you're not stuck. You're seeing it for what it is. It's a purposeful pause, preparing you. So picture this. You're standing at a crossroads. One path is fast. Fast, but it's uneven, steady. It's going over lava. You have to do all of the things. You have to have all of the preparations, but you got to run through it. And those rocks, those steps, they're going to be moving underneath your feet. The other is slower, but it's more aligned. Which one feels better in your body right now? Because really this isn't resistance. It's your body bracing before the jump, and it's the breath before the breakthrough. And really think of it like that. So here's a whisper I want you to hear today. You're not stuck. You're settling into your alignment. You've called all of these things in. You've done these steps. You've taken your aligned actions. And now you need to let that come together. So you're settling into your alignment. Because how many things have you called in? How many balls do you have up in the air? How many dreams um, are you focused on? How many things are you focused on? So sit back and take that pause because you're worth it. If you're stuck in that loop of, I don't know what to do next, try this with me right now. Place your hand on your heart or on your belly. That would work too. And take a slow breath. And then I want you to say out loud, this is space. This is preparation. I trust what's landing for me. So let's do this together. Say that again. This is space. This is preparation. I trust what's landing for me. And then 3 gentle breaths. I want you to inhale love and exhale the tension. Inhale love. Exhale the tension. Inhale love and exhale tension. Now whisper it again with me. This is space. This is preparation. I trust what's landing for me. If this landed in your heart or if you're feeling something there, DM or comment, do anything that you trust the pause in your life. And you could always tell me what came up because I'd be happy to witness for you. Hold space. However, I can help you trust your own pause. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the magic in the pause because there is magic in stuckness, like holding the frequency without proof. So, that high vibe, we're going to raise our frequency. We're going to listen to the right music. We're going to have gratitude. We're going to journal. We're going to meditate. That is magic because you are creating magic, even in what feels like stuckness. Trusting the pause as part of the process. That is absolutely magic. Taking one breath at a time without pushing forward. Absolutely still magic. If this resonates, Say it with me. Magic is moving even when I'm not. Every moment I surrender, I carve space for the unseen to arrive. And let Jupiter teach you to trust your emotional truth. Let Pluto retrograde strip away those old patterns because there is wisdom here. There is transformation in our stillness. But we have to be able to sit still. We have to be able to see that magic, to be grateful for this time, to allow those things to flow towards us and to sit still inside of it. Okay, so let's bring this down to one overall practice tool for this week's podcast. You can follow along and you journal if you're near one, because that's always good. But this is like a reframing practice, the unstuck reframe practice, let's call it that. So write down the area where you feel most stuck. So think about that. Where are you feeling most stuck right now? What do you feel like it's not moving forward? This could be situational, it could be relationship, it could be job, it could be home. There's lots of different things that it might be for you, and it might be more than one thing. And maybe there's an overarching theme of what might feel stuck for you right now. Write it down. All right, so now I want you to reframe it by writing, this isn't stuck, this is integration. And that integration is you allowing all of these things that you've asked for, all of these things to integrate into part of your story. And then ask yourself, what is trying to land here? And get a little intuitive with this. Breathe into it. You're journaling already. Maybe meditate about that. And listen for your next small aligned step, not the leap, not the leap, just the next thing. And relax into it. Allow it to be in the pause. It doesn't have to be like the Fool's card in tarot. We're not on the edge of a cliff. We're not necessarily needing to take that leap right now. What we're needing to do is just do those aligned actions that keeps us moving forward while we're in our stuckness. And there's lots of folks who are in this stuckness together. I'm there with you. I've got things I'm stuck with for sure. All right. So if there is some deeper questions or deeper guides that you might want to look into, we do have the embodiment pack. I think that would be a great tool. We have lots of great tools and coursework that are free, and it's on immersivespiritliving.com. And that can support you in this moment, the embodiment tools. But a lot of those tools in there can support you in this exact moment. So go check them out and see what might move you forward. Remember that you are not off your path and you are not broken. No one is broken. You're simply in that sacred process of becoming. All right. So next week, Stephanie is going to be getting fiery with you, where she's going to flip the script on resistance when every cell in your body says no, and you won't want to miss it. But until then, please trust the pause. Trust yourself. You are absolutely closer than you think. See you next week with Immersive Spirit.